I'm doing well. How about
It's
yourself?
great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, Northwest guys got to stick together.
No doubt.
Got to stick together. So we did a game. So Joy and I disagree. We don't disagree on a lot, but we disagreed on something today. So the NBA last year didn't televise selecting the All-Star game because they didn't want to embarrass players. Steph had to choose like 4 Warriors. And I'm like, televise the thing. It'd be great. We're going to be – it'd be so much fun.
We want to see the process.
I want to see the
Yes.
and I'm not a guy that always wants to see the process, but they're all great.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so I'm going to play a game. I played this with Broussard.
All right.
So and Joy's theory is actually really good. Joy says, listen, if you're going to televise it, televise the starting 5s. Just don't show the reserves. Because in the starting 5s, they're all zillionaires. They won't get their feelings too hurt, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You get down to the
ego comes in.
You start
into
getting
play.
down to like the 22nd pick.
Right.
Well, I just think it's an honor to be an all-star. And you find out you're going to be an all-star. That's a cool thing. It goes on your resume. You know, when you retire, people are going to introduce you as an NBA all-star. You know, if you've never won a championship, like it's something that matters in your career to make it to the all-star game. And then you get the anxiety of, are you going to be the last pick in the all-star draft?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same feeling if you were at like 24-hour fitness and they're like, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I got you. And then the last little dude with the goggles, the high socks,
except
and the knee
for,
pads,
you know,
and
the
they're
whole
like,
world is watching, and then they get to feel that.
Low, yeah. Okay, let's play a game.
Let's do it.
Whole NBA. Jet, you and me.
Here we go.
You go first. You pick a player. Now, this is televised.
I'm first.
I'll let you go first. You're the guest in the house. You go first. You get East or Western Conference.
That's a
Go.
lot
Can
of
we have some
pressure right
music for
there.
this?
That is
Can we
a
have,
lot of pressure.
Put a Cardi B song on since Joy loves her so much.
I do love Cardi B.
Okay, here we go.
Number
1. Who you got?
James Harden, because I know he's watching. Somebody said, oh.
I'm going to go LeBron.
You're going LeBron.
Yeah.
I go Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So you give me KD?
But I'll take Steph.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Yeah, better slow down a little bit.
I'm going to go Anthony Davis.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going Westbrook.
You're going to have Westbrook and Steph in the same backcourt?
He was never going to pick
You know
Westbrook
it.
ever.
I could just stop picking players. I already won the thing. All right, hold on. You got Harden, Giannis, Steph, Westbrook. I got LeBron, KD, Anthony Davis. Now, I'm going to make I actually love Clay, but I don't want you to take Kawhi, who could guard my guy. So I'm going to take Kawhi Leonard.
I see what you did there. I was definitely going Kawhi next. But I'm going to go young. I'm going to go Joel Embiid.
Okay. You got a lot of ego on your team.
A lot. I love it.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go again. I need a shooter. I'm going to go Kyrie Irving. Now, we get one bench player. Okay, so let's look at our starting 5 right now.
Let's look at it.
So you got Harden. Your backcourt has only one ball.
He's the MVP.
You got Harden, Giannis, Steph, Westbrook, and Embiid. I got LeBron, Durant, Anthony Davis, Kawhi, and Kyrie. One bench player. Now, what do you need right now? You need a passer. What do you need?
All my guys average 10 assists a game.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Okay, who you got off the bench? One bench guy.
Off the bench, one guy. Oh. Tough. DeMar DeRozan. Oh, I just whiffed. I whiffed right there. I like DeRozan. I would have went Lillard.
Two I'm going with.
I knew you were going to go with Lillard.
You know what? Rose City represented. So I took Lillard on both my teams. First guy off the bench.
There you go.
So your team's got a lot of stuff.
Oh, we got a lot.
We got a lot of guards.
I love it.
I think I'd beat you on that one. Well, we'll see.
Oh, no. I like how we match up. I mean, you don't have anybody for Embiid, obviously. It's tough on you.
I got LeBron and Durant.
But then your guard play, I mean, I got 3 of the most dynamic guards in the game.
It is a guard's game.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny about it, Jet. So the game is built for guys like you now.
Yep.
Go back to your first year in the league.
Oh.
Now, tell people that don't remember this. There's people watching our game right now.
Oh, my God.
James Harden maybe doesn't remember this. Go back to 1999, your first year in the league. Tell people what the league was like.
Hand checking, 1. So if you're a guard and you're built like me, 180 pounds, you could not physically get the ball across half court and below the free throw line. So actually, I should have been out casting threes back then because physically I was not able. I mean, they could really restrict your movement and really hold you down physically. So you couldn't move. Isolation game.
Let's talk about that.
You had to keep everybody on one side of the floor, and you can just get isolated on one side. And if you did, they would call it illegal defense. So that to me was very tough. I mean, you had guys like Allen Iverson. You had guys like Kobe who could just back you down and just take his time. And if you came to double, you had to really double. If not, root technical. So that was definitely a nuance that was very difficult. Then on every single team, you had to have at least 2 7-footers. Why? Because of guys like Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, these big mammoths of men that no one could guard. You needed all the fouls.
You needed 12
could have.
fouls.
Yeah, you need 12, 18 at some teams.
Now the game is spacing.
Yeah.
Cardio.
What?
Shooting.
Shoot it.
You can't hand check. In fact, I've argued this. I think I would bring back, one of the things I love about sports is rule changes. Mm-hmm. And I think, like in baseball, I'd get rid of the defensive shift. I think it hurts Bryce Harper. I want Bryce Harper on the base as much as I can. Good-looking guy, see his face. I want to see the stars on the bases, not lining to right field and the second baseman's there. I would bring back the hand check. Here's why. Mm-hmm. It's counterintuitive. People think the hand check is physical. What the hand check would do is keep guards, little guys, out of the lane, fewer injuries. Mm-hmm. Westbrook's hurt. John Wall's hurt. Why? Because when you're a guard, you're an elite shooter.
Yep.
Elite athlete guards who are not great shooters, Wall and Westbrook, have to drive to the trees to score. Knock down, hurt.
Yes.
I think the hand check would keep guards healthier longer. Like quarterbacks in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, to be honest, Jason, you can't stay in front of any of these guys anymore.
No, you can't even stay in front of the big guys. I mean, I named my guy on my team was Embiid. He's crossing guys up like he's Steph Curry out there at times. So, no, definitely bring the hand check back. I think it would the scores will come down a little bit.
And by the way,
just a little bit.
And it would also, I think, give the bigs a little more relevance.
Yes.
Let's make centers matter a little.
Just a little bit, because even in today's defense schematically, there's a lot of switching going on. So you're going to put my big man on your Steph Curry and not allow him to touch him at all, like let alone move his feet. But he can't touch him, and so there's no advantage to be gained whatsoever with that strategy. And I think for your point is bring back hand checking. That's a good one. Now, the other part that I was going to tell you about in our game back then, the physicality. You go to the hole and you thought you were going to dunk on somebody. The next thing you know, you're laying on the ground. Now, in this game, you're out of here. You might get suspended 2 or 3 games for that. And so I just think you bring that rule back a little bit.
A little more
physicality. And that may deter some of those drives to the baskets as well. But now it's just free for all. Everybody's driving in. If they don't drive in for a dunk, it's spray it outside. And who knows? The coach may even shoot a 3.
You can't stop anybody. By the way, we talked about LeBron. Everybody always talks about the decision. Mm-hmm. I would argue he's always made the right decision. Wade and Bosh were getting old. He left, and they were too old. And then he left Cleveland. Now they're horrible. Yeah. When he left Cleveland the first time, they were bad. Yeah. LeBron's decisions have been pretty good. Now he goes to the Lakers. There's a bunch of young guys. Of all their young players, Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo, Hart, is there one young guy you think will emerge as the guy?
No. And this is why I say so. It's because as long as LeBron is there, he's the guy. He's not going to allow any one of those guys to emerge. Now, that is part of his greatness. He makes everyone on his team better. But when you talk about emerging to become a star, you got a guy like Lonzo Ball. We know the expectations of him. Kyle Kuzma, yeah, he's played well last year, but look at him this year with LeBron, not the same player. Then Brandon Ingram. They have gone above and beyond to feature Ingram late in ball games.
And it hasn't worked.
To feature him early, and it just hasn't worked out. And so I just think the LeBron factor is there. One, he's ball dominant, which we know.
Yeah, he's ball dominant.
Yeah, and so it doesn't allow those other guys to play. The other thing I look at from a Lakers perspective is, are you in win now, or are we going to do what we got to do to develop our talent? Because if we're developing our talent, Lonzo Ball cannot go a game where he doesn't finish. Through his failures is where he's going to gain a lot of experience and his confidence. And so I just think if their mission is to develop their young players, they have to let them play. I love Rondo. If we're trying to win now, he's my starting point guard, and I allow him to finish games. But if this is about developing the young players, those young players have to be on the floor when those games matter.
I said before the season, Joy heard me say this, I thought Ingram would emerge as the second best player. I've been really disappointed. He's a little bit of a tease. You know, there's aspects of his game for 2 and 3 sets. I'll be like, he looks like Durant. I keep thinking I'm going to get Durant, and I don't get it. What are players in the NBA saying with Ingram? Why isn't he popping? Does he have no dog?
No, I mean, well, you've seen the dog. He
threw a punch.
Right. Jumped off the top rope, threw a punch. But no, I think, again, the similarity, the body type of a Durant, right, is what we all were amazed by. And now that you see him now, it's like he just doesn't have that same handle as KD.
Not as good ball handler.
Not as good ball handler. I just think physically he needs to get stronger. I mean, they said he worked on it in the offseason, but you really don't see it, right? I mean, he can rebound a little better. I think from outside, though, range, I would like to see him be a much more consistent three-point threat. He likes to operate in the same areas as LeBron. You know, that logo ISO, a little below the free throw line.
Yeah.
He has good range in there. He's great touch, great feel for the game below the free throw line, but he needs to expand his range.
You know, you've been in the NBA a long time, and you look at all these teams. The Kawhi Leonard situation's interesting. So Kawhi is a little enigmatic, strong. He's a different personality, and he's in San Antonio. It doesn't work with Pop, and Pop's work with everybody, and it doesn't work. And then he goes to Toronto. And I was in Canada this summer in Vancouver. It's a great city. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'd love to live here. But Toronto gets this reputation as, it's Canadian taxes, and it's really cold in the winter. But if Kawhi ends up as the number 1 seed and they beat the Celtics and get to the finals, can you see Kawhi staying up north?
I definitely can, because winning is a cure-all, and it just does something for you. The other part of that is culture. Great culture in San Antonio, a little restrictive.
It is a little restrictive.
A little congestive, especially for a guy like Kawhi. Okay, it worked for him earlier in his years because it gave him discipline.
But then he started to grow. He
right?
wanted to be his own dude.
He wants to be his own guy, and Toronto allows him to do so, right? But then it's not overbearing because you still have Kyle Lowry, you still have Ibaka, you still have a good young team where all the responsibility is not thrust upon him. And so he's allowed to be himself. And I think that's the thing that you see with him up there. He's gotten comfortable with the guys around him. You heard him. You heard the laugh. Never heard that laugh before.
I'm not sure I want to hear it again.
But no, he's just being himself, man, and he looks comfortable. And I do hope they make it to the finals. Oh, there it is there.
Okay, let me ask you about Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
This is a weird situation. I like Jimmy. I've had him on the couch. Little ego. I don't think he's the easiest guy in the world always to play with.
Right.
But he's in Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns, who's kind of regressed a little. Andrew Wiggins is good, but no alpha. I just don't feel the alpha, but he's talented.
Right.
And Jimmy's there. And I'm thinking to myself, this is great for him. He can be the man. And those guys are 1A and 2, and it's not working.
No.
And now Houston comes in and says, we'll give you 4 1s. And Minnesota's like, no. So now I think T-Wolves are being kind of petty.
Now, was that, we'll give you 4 1s, was that like 2 weeks ago, or was that before last night when they seen Zion Williamson play? Because if any one of those 4 picks turns out to be that kid, Jimmy will holler at you. See you in Houston.
You think Zion Williamson's that good?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
I watched all the social media hype before the other night.
Okay.
And then when I seen this kid go left, no look, bounce pass on one bounce, straight to his guy, he lays it up. I said, oh, no, that kid's special. He can rebound, he can run, he's fast, he's strong, he's athletic. And if you leave him open, he might just start knocking down that jump shot.
Jet, you know what's interesting about this? Everybody keeps telling me he's the second best player on Duke. And here's my thing. No, you said this yesterday.
You said it too.
No, R.J. Barrett.
R.J. Barrett, everybody.
Stud.
No, I'm not
saying. No doubt.
Okay, I'm not saying he's not a stud.
Right.
But when I watch Zion,
yeah,
God doesn't make a lot of those.
No, it factor.
He's 285. If I'm a general manager, there is no way I'm passing on that kid.
Right.
There's no way. Now, the other kid is a really special player, but he's not a 285-pound 17-year-old.
No doubt.
I can't pass on him.
College basketball is so excited that there is a one-and-done rule. Because when this kid leaves, he will break every record and hopefully not every backboard that is left in college basketball. I mean, if you watched him play last night, there's nothing or no team on Division I level that is going to be able to stop this kid.
He's like Larry Johnson, but I think little better ball handler, maybe.
Definitely a bit better ball handler from end to end. Definitely just as tough. Yeah, that's a great comparison. Great comparison.
I covered Larry at UNLV.
Yeah, great comparison. But again, Larry did have a nice handle too. He had a nice handle. So I'd have to go back and watch some more film, but definitely a great comparison.
So would you take this kid number one?
I'm definitely taking him number one.
I'm the same way.
For sure.
I know everybody keeps telling me
You'd have to do that after one game. But if he keeps this up consistently for the rest of the season and on into the ACC where we know it gets a little bit tougher, he's number one pick.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.